Welcome back to the Powerful Communication Podcast. This is Colin Kelly from Comsteria, and I'm talking today about this story involving Tempest Photography. They do a lot of school photos, and they've been on the BBC News for about the last 18 hours, where there was this story that they'd done photos for one of the schools in Aberdeenshire, and the parents for one class had received what looked to be like a choice of photos. It looked like there was photo where the whole class was there, and then there was another photo where the children with complex needs, that's their phrase, not mine, the children with complex needs weren't in the photo. This caused revulsion, outrage all around, all over the internet. BBC website for the last 18 hours has carried this story with an interview, a video with the mother of one of the children. Obviously, she's very upset. Aberdeenshire Council apologising. The school appalled. They pointed out that the link had been removed very early on, but nonetheless, lots of people very upset. And for hours, all there was from the photography company was a statement saying, "We're investigating, we've spoken to the school, we've spoken to the photographer, there will be no further comment." It sat like that for 17 hours. And you think, well, if there is an innocent explanation, well, we're all ears, I'd love to hear it. It looks like there's not. This is a company that doesn't care. Right, I get that they need to investigate. I get that they don't know exactly what happened, but surely they can show some compassion for this mess, this situation, all under their name, that's led to many people in that school directly feeling very distressed, and I hope not, but maybe feeling second rate, and thousands of other people, because this is all over social media, all over the world now, feeling that same distress and anger. And they're saying, "We're investigating, spoken to the school, spoken to the photographer, no further comment." Who the hell do they think they are putting out a statement like that? I get that it's a holiday weekend. I get that they're a big business with loads going on. I get that the call comes in from the journalist and it catches you off guard. I get that you need to run it by legal and HR. It might be hard getting hold of people. And sometimes there's a tendency to control and shut things down and maybe bat these things away. But the distinct impression that many people were left with was this is a company that just doesn't care. Meanwhile, for hours, their business has been getting obliterated. On their own social media, the comments are disabled. They hadn't referenced it at all. It looked like there was a statement on their website that had then been removed. I'd imagine it's the statement they went to the BBC that made things worse. Now, the company have started to do things better because we see an update on the BBC News story that the company has apologised and they deeply regret any upset. They sincerely apologise to families. It was not standard procedure. They're taking the matter very seriously. And there's some additional context now that some photographs were taken before the pupils with additional support needs were brought in. So pictures were taken with all the pupils, but parents were given the option of both. I wonder, and I am merely speculating, if they've just been automatically added or every picture taken's gone to some cloud processing thing. But it's not up to me to try and work out what's happened. The business at the earliest possible stage needs to recognise the potential harm to its reputation. It needs to recognise that, rightly or wrongly, there are thousands and thousands of people feeling very real distress and anger. And even although at that stage they might not have known what had happened, you still need to express that compassion, that empathy. We need to know that whatever happened, that this is a business that cares. We need somebody senior giving an interview. We need to see them on video. Even if, and I'm not suggesting there is, but even if there was something we thought we'd sent something else to the BBC, they never published that, you've got your own social media. You've got your own channel that anytime, day or night, you can publish a video showing, even if you're saying, well, we don't know what happened, we're investigating, but show me that you care, show me that it matters to you. You cannot bat these stories away, you can't shut them down, you don't get to control. There'll be no further statement from us. That doesn't wash. That works if it's a bereaved family or something. It doesn't work when it's a big business that has the privilege of going into schools and taking pictures of our children. Some would say a near monopoly because I don't get to choose who I pay if I want that photo. It's them. They're the ones that get it. That is a real privilege. And that initial statement suggested to me that they don't care. They don't value that. Well, this is just one of these big, bad, heartless companies. Now we see a much better statement. So why did they not get it right at the beginning? Well, I don't know Tempest Photography at all, so I can't comment on them. But I do see this kind of thing happen frequently. And in my experience, you've got PR and comms people that know what to say, that know they need to say sorry, even though they might think at a corporate level they've not done anything wrong. You still need to say sorry. You need to express compassion and empathy. All the things that Aberdeenshire Council did. Their statement was very good. They failed to do. So you get PR and comms people that know we probably should say that, but because the business goes into crisis mode, we need HR and legal to approve it. Well, we're not going to say we did anything wrong. We might not have. That's the mode that they go into. Defensive, shut it down, say as little as possible, buy ourselves time, let it blow over. We'll just say we're investigating. It doesn't work. You get obliterated on social media, which is exactly what's happened. Comments were disabled on their Twitter, nothing on their website, getting obliterated. That anger and distress that people felt is real. And it was made worse by that initial statement, which lacked everything that you would want to include in a statement. I understand businesses being careful. I understand where legal and HR are coming from, but you have to understand you're in a 24/7 news cycle now. You've got your own social media channels. You've got your own values that you go on about on these channels. And when something like this happens, you retreat, you're defensive, you're cold, you're corporate. Do you know what? You deserve all you get. If that was my business associated with making people feel second rate and causing distress, I'd have been out there facing the cameras for as long as it took. I'd have been making it very clear how I felt and how much I cared and that I shared the distress that these people were feeling. And if the journalists weren't interested, or when the journalists had gone home, I'd have gone on my own social media channels and done it there. I don't know what's happened in this case, but I've seen it happen several other times, and we need, number one, PR and comms people to grow a backbone and challenge these other people in your organisations. We need legal and HR people to recognise that you've got comms and PR professionals with the skills to draft a statement that expresses empathy and support and compassion, and sometimes, yes, even an apology that doesn't leave you legally open to some sort of comeback. And see if you do. Who cares? You're the legal team. Deal with it. Fix it. Sort it. Take it on the chin. Take the hit. That's better than having your business obliterated on the internet in 18 hours, which is what's happened in this case. That anger doesn't go away. It doesn't go away when the context emerges. It doesn't go away when you subsequently put out a better statement. That anger and distress is real and could all have been avoided with care and compassion and humanity at the beginning. And if you've got senior management who are out of touch, unapproachable, too busy, too big, don't care, you need to shake them out of that stupor. If you are working in PR and comms and you can relate to this, if you've been in this situation, please take this podcast and send it to HR, legal, and your senior management. I implore you to understand and to learn from these other situations. Time after time after time, I see it. Awful statement goes out, and then hours later, we get the better one. Let's get it right from the beginning. Let's start working together. Let's have PR and comms growing a backbone. Let's have legal and HR understanding that there's people involved, and let's see senior management giving a shit and actually taking the initiative, standing up, going on the camera, using the channels that you've got and making it very clear how much you care from the earliest possible opportunity.